The Trump campaign held a press conference to challenge the election results at Four Seasons Total Landscaping in Northeast Philadelphia. Some people suspect the campaign intended to reserve the Four Seasons Hotel, but accidentally booked this landscaping company, located between a crematorium and a sex toy store. Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, was speaking when he was told the election had been called for Biden.
Who was it called by? Oh my goodness, all the networks. Wow. All the networks.
No, guys, come on. How is this real? Like, how is this real? How are you going to hold a press conference at a landscaping warehouse between a crematorium and a sex toy store? I mean, as a general rule, if you're ever out declaring war, you don't want to do it 20 feet from a dildo. Although, I mean, in some ways it makes sense. Because if you ask people what's halfway between a pawn shop and a crematorium, they'd probably say Rudy Giuliani. And by the way, I have a feeling that Rudy Giuliani uses that sarcastic response a lot. I'm sorry, who wants me to put my clothes back on? Everyone. Oh, wow, everyone. Every single person in this Denny's wants me to put my clothes back on. Now, the campaign says that they did mean to have the press conference at this venue. And I hope that that's true. But it really just sounds like Trump's legal team accidentally booked the wrong Four Seasons. And if that is the case, that would be so sad. I mean, do you know how incompetent you gotta be to get catfished by a landscaping business? Also, I love how the real Four Seasons tweeted that it has nothing to do with them, because even hotel chains are trying to get away from Trump now. I bet Motel 6 was like, get out of here, you scumbags, you're grossing out our bed bugs. I also feel really bad for anyone who was inside that sex shop during that press conference, because imagine being in a sex shop and then seeing every camera in America pulling up next door. Now you gotta hide out in a dildo store for 6 hours. And that's a long time to pretend to be browsing. Yeah, so is this the edible underwear? Is it gluten-free? Yeah, they're still outside? Okay. Do you do samples? So even though most of the world has accepted that Joe Biden will be the next president, Donald Trump is clearly planning to drag out this fight for weeks. And his people are behind him all the way. Well, almost all the way.
Despite no proof to support allegations of widespread fraud or illegal voting in the United States, some of his top Republican allies backing the president's refusal to concede.
At this point, we do not know who has prevailed in the election. The media is desperately trying to get everyone to coronate Joe Biden as the next president. But that's not how it works.
Okay. Trump has not lost. Do not concede, Mr. President. Fight hard.
President Trump is 100% within his rights to look into allegations of irregularities and weigh his legal options.
Privately, people believe that it is time for the president to concede the election. It is true that Jared Kushner has approached the president about conceding the election, and then my colleague reported that the First Lady has also talked to the president about accepting the fact that he has lost this election to Joe Biden. Basically, they're all just waiting on the president to come to terms with what's happening.
Yes, Melania and Jared are reportedly trying to convince Donald Trump to concede. Although Melania is definitely working her own hustle at the same time. Donald, you have to concede. Pennsylvania says Biden won, and they also said our marriage isn't valid. I know it's the decision the people have spoken.